like anybody else. In the sense, of 4 or 5 teams that you could make a case for, and you have to hit it at the right time, and things have to work out. But they're as good as anybody else.
Mike, how do you slow down a Chris Paul?
You just try to, again, with players like that, you can't take things away from him. Just make it hard, make shots hard. Try to stay on three-point shooters. What you try to take away is maybe his ability to set everybody else up, knowing that he's going to score some. Kobe will have to guard him some, put some length on him. But a lot of it depends on him and the type of game he has.
You've coached an elite guard in Phoenix. You have him here now. Talk about Chris Paul. What do you like about his game?
Well, almost everything. I mean, it starts with his competitive fire and his ability to be able to engage guys and being a great teammate and all that. That's one. Two, his unselfishness. And then he's just unbelievably skilled. His vision of the court, and defensively he's all over the ball. And it's just a lot of great things that he does. And, people forget not to run anybody down. But he takes New Orleans, which wasn't a great team, and takes them a long ways. And they were dangerous. And that was mostly him and Tyson Chandler, the pick and roll. And he's just an unbelievable basketball player.
Hey, Mike, what do you sense with Kobe's outside shot as of late?
I don't know. I mean, it's just the same as you just go through periods where it just doesn't quite go in yet. But it'll be back, I'm sure.
And you're saying with Meta specifically, it's just one of those things he just has to.
Got to work through it. Got to work through it. There's
there's
no solutions. Otherwise, no one would ever go into a slump. You wouldn't have that word.
Right.
That's why you have them, and people do go into it at different times of the season. Your legs might get a little tired. The break might be good for everybody. There's a lot of things that goes. February is usually a dog days. So you go through that stuff. You just keep your head, try to keep things simple, and keep going forward.
Do you see any correlation to any degree in terms of him trying to kind of find that balance and facilitating part of it?
Well, you hope not, because I think he's playing the right way. So you hope that he's can play the right way and be really good at it. So I don't think there's a correlation.
Mike,
Clippers have never really won anything. Did they arrive as a team?
Yeah, I think as a team they have. Now they still have to do what they do in the playoffs, but yeah, they're good. And it hasn't been a fluke. They've been good for months. And, they haven't gone very far in their history, but they've never had Chris Paul in their history either. So it's a brand new chapter for them, and they're doing well.
Is Chris Paul going to be the biggest challenge for you guys? Because yesterday, Chris Paul was the first player that came out of both Dwight and Kobe's mouth.
Do I now?
Is Chris Paul going to be the biggest challenge for you guys?
I don't know about the biggest challenge, but he's definitely a challenge. But they're deep. They're good. The Blake Griffin's playing great. DeAndre Jordan's got a lot of energy on the floor and very athletic. So there's a lot of people playing well for him.
And last time you played against the Clippers, Jordan Hill put in some big minutes. I think he got something like 13 points. And I know his energy against the Clippers really helped a lot. How do you make
Well,
up
it's
for
going to be
that?
tough to play him because his hip's kind of bad. So I'm going to.
I just mean, how do you make up for that? I mean, not having
Well,
energy.
you make up by Antoine Jameson, who had a great game last night. So we got guys that can do it. We'll just find out their solutions.
How did Earl's foot respond today?
I think he's good. I asked him. He said he's fine.
As a coach, do you look at that second unit over there and kind of, not that your second unit isn't good, but that's
Well,
deep.
it's deep, but they can only play 5 at a time, and so the 5 guys we have on the floor are playing pretty well. So we'll match up with them okay. I think a deep bench over the course of a season might have something more to say than just one game.
Mike, was the third quarter just about missing shots, or was there just something you didn't like other than you just didn't make shots?
Again, it's hard to explain. Shouldn't have to explain because we shouldn't have a quarter like that, and we shouldn't play without the energy. But for whatever reason, the energy went out of us completely. Not only was it bad offensively, we didn't even get back defensively, and they almost ran us off the court, literally. That's why those games coming off long road trips are usually tough games, because we brought to their attention they came out with a lot of oomph, but they found a period where they just didn't have it. And they gutted it out at the end to win the game, so that was the most important thing. But I'm hoping it was a long road trip. I'm hoping that you're up 13, they let down when they couldn't get it back. But again, obviously we got a lot of things we need to work on.
Thoughts on Steve Blake's contribution last night?
Great. He's played well. Played well in Miami. I think the last 3 games, if I'm not mistaken, he's played well after hitting a kind of a rough spot on the road trip. And I told him that's what normally happens. You come back, you play at a certain level, you fall off, and then you climb back up, and he's climbing back up. So, yeah, he's playing great. His defense and knowledge of defense and his being able to spearhead the second group has played well. To me, they won the game for us last night. Jody and Antoine and Steve.